Oh, hey, I'm so glad that you could join us in downtown Gainesville. I was just about to ask the boys, what do you think would happen if the sun just turned off like a giant light switch? No warmth, no glow, no sunrise tomorrow, just click darkness.
Would the earth freeze instantly? Will we just float away?
Actually, the answer is weird, wild, super awesome science. So stick with me and I'll tell you a story, what'll happen in real life when the sun burns out. Follow me? Okay, let's start with an exercise. Scientists do this all the time. They ask, what would happen if something impossible happened? They do this because it helps us understand what's really going on around us. For example, imagine if the sun's light suddenly stopped reaching Earth.
Will we lose gravity and fly away?
Nope. Here's the surprise. The sun's gravity would still be around for a little while. Light travels incredibly fast, about 186,000 miles per second. But even at that speed, the sun's light takes 8 minutes to reach Earth. Gravity changes also travel at the same speed, which means if the sun went dark, it would take 8 minutes before anyone on Earth noticed the change.
So, what's the first thing that would happen on Earth once we noticed?
That's a good question, and it isn't what you would think. About 8 minutes after the click, the sky would change. All sunlight would vanish, and suddenly it would look like our sky was just deep space. Black sky with stars and planets illuminated.
Whoa!
I know, and get this, Earth wouldn't freeze right away.
Really?
Really, because Earth is like a big warm rock wrapped in a blanket of air and water. It will hold heat for quite some time, but it will start to cool and keep cooling. In the first few days, temperature would drop. Then, after many weeks, ice would start to form on top of the ocean. And over years, the surface of the Earth would become brutally cold.
What happened to the plants and the animals?
Well, that part's really interesting because plants need sunlight for photosynthesis. That's the process where plants use sunlight to make their own food and release oxygen. No sunlight, no photosynthesis. Plants can't make food.
So that means the food chain would break down.
Yes, it does. Animals that eat plants would starve, and then the animals that eat those animals would starve.
Could humans survive?
Humans could survive a very long time with stored food, indoor farms, and technology. But it would be very hard.
What would happen to the air?
Earth wouldn't instantly lose its oxygen. However, over a long time, without photosynthesis, oxygen levels would slowly change and the planet would become a super harsh environment. But take a deep breath, because now we're switching from the pretend sun turns off scenario to the real story. What is the actual process of the sun burning out?
Good, that was being intense. So what would happen in real life if the sun doesn't just turn off?
In real life, the sun is not a fire. It's not burning like wood or a candle does. The sun shines because of nuclear fusion. Tiny particles in its center smash together and release huge amounts of energy. That energy becomes light and heat.
That's really cool.
No, it's actually really hot.
Mom!
And the sun won't just shut off. It will change slowly over a very, very, very long time. In fact, scientists estimate that the sun has about 5 billion years left before it reaches its next life stage. But the thing is, Earth is going to have problems way before that happens.
Why is that?
Because as the sun ages, it slowly gets brighter. Some models think about 10% brighter every 1 billion years. That doesn't sound like much.
Yeah, it's only 10%.
But for Earth, that 10% is a big deal. Our planet is balanced like a perfect bowl of soup, and a little more heat can change everything.
What happens when the Earth gets too hot? How long will that take?
Patience, you two. I was just about to get there. Scientists believe that long before the sun becomes a red giant, about 1 billion years from now, Earth will warm enough that the oceans will evaporate. Once this happens, no oceans means no normal weather. No normal weather means no normal life.
Does that mean the Earth will be gone long before the sun ends?
Well, sort of. Just because the oceans and life are gone doesn't mean the Earth is gone. The Earth would still be there. It would just be a very harsh and lifeless place. NASA says that as the sun expands during its red giant phase, that it will swell so big it will actually engulf Mercury, Venus, and possibly even Earth.
That's a lot of swelling. Yeah, what happens after the sun swells Earth?
Well, it doesn't explode like in the movies. It does something much prettier. After its red giant phase, the sun is expected to shed its outer layers, creating a glowing cloud of gas called a planetary nebula. The core left behind, once this shedding is finished, is called a white dwarf.
What's a white dwarf?
A super dense, Earth-sized remnant that will slowly cool for an extremely long time.
If the sun's suddenly turned off, everything on Earth would stay the same for 8 minutes. And then start cooling.
Yep, and plants would stop making food without sunlight. In the real-life version, the sun slowly gets brighter, Earth slowly becomes too hot, and the oceans and life are long gone before the sun's final stages.
When the sun becomes a red giant, it turns into a white dwarf.
You got it. The Earth doesn't instantly explode or fly away without the sun. But without the sun's energy, life as we know it can't keep going. The sun has a whole life story, and we're living in the chapter where it's stable and bright and perfect for life. Thank you for joining us on our journey around the sun today.
I know why I came along. Mom, can I please stay for another story?
Of course, we were just about to unpack all the fuss about how the Earth is going to lose gravity for 7 seconds in August.
What?
Follow me.